Hey guys, it's Andrew at Flory PB, and this is the next part of the lathe video. We are going to try to set up our limit switches. We're down here on the bench right now. We're going to jump into the lathe in a couple minutes. But what I have here is, I grabbed this board. I put my wires on it already. I just tied all my grounds together. And I have my leads for my signal from the proximity sensors. This is a MOSFET board, but it wasn't the MOSFET board I thought I was buying. I'm not exactly sure what it's for, but basically I want this signal to trigger this MOSFET to pull myself to ground at the normally closed switch side to simulate what it wants. So basically I connect all the grounds together. What I noticed when I got this board is, I think this is the opposite MOSFET. There's an N channel and a P channel MOSFET, and I think this is the opposite one that I wanted. Because I noticed when I looked at the back of the board, all of the positive terminals on the switch side, or the side that's going to be on facing my G540 and my breakout board, are all linked together. So I'm pretty positive I want to unlink those. So what I ended up doing is I only need 3 of these, or what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut the traces after the first positive and then separate the traces between these 3, and hopefully we can make it act the way we want it to act. And with that, I have this board. I 3D printed this little case to put it in, and I just made these big enough to press fit these in. So this board's going to fit in here like this, and I can do my soldering joints that I need to do on here. I'll do that before we go upstairs with this. And yeah, then this cover should come on and close it up nice and tight. So the first thing we're going to do is modify the traces. Let me grab just a razor. And let me zoom in so you guys can see what I'm doing. Hopefully it's focused. If you can see, you have a DC positive and a DC negative. I'm going to use the DC positive on the sensor side because I can pull a 12-volt signal from there to power all the little lights and all that stuff. I left number 1 open on both sides. So what we're going to do is after it goes to here, because I can still use this for its intended purpose maybe one day. But you see this trace, this lighter colored green that comes through here that connects all these. We're just simply going to cut this. Now, if I can find a I just want to check if they're connected. If they're connected together, it will buzz like that. I have successfully isolated trace 1 from that one. Oh, not yet. So it's a hell of a trace in there. Right. Okay, is it connected to the top side too? Oh. Got lost in a little research there. I'm pretty certain that I'm going to cut out most of that video because I think I was zoomed way in and you couldn't see what I was doing. I cut the traces on this side to separate those three. I'm trying to get a switching current happening on this side. I'm trying to bring it to ground. But my problem is this is a PWM board, or it's set up to take PWM signals. So I think this component here is messing with me, because I want this basically to drain the ground. It's at 11.5 volts. I'm going to take this. Oh. Well, that brought it down to 0, but okay, so a little suspect and scary, but I think if I just bypass this, if I bypass this component here, so that goes into there. Okay, no smoke getting let out now. Problem is it's still draining everything. But now that I got rid of that, I don't need the lights on the board because it's in an enclosure anyway. Let me see if I can... Okay. So that should work now for all three of these. 1, 2, 3. This one would still work the regular way, but that's that's nothing that I'm going to need. I'm going to get rid of that one. I don't need that. You still need to ground it. And that is going to go back to the other side. So let me solder these into these components quite painfully. but I'm still fairly happy with that result. Hopefully it works. Hopefully it does what I need it to do. And you can do the exact same thing with a relay board. Not just a MOSFET, but a relay board too, but those take longer to actually work because they have to physically move. So these should work faster than a relay. This is the same thing that actually powers your solenoid on your paintball marker. Is the same thing. It's a MOSFET. It's normally smaller than this one. This one handles a lot more amps than you're going to need on a paintball marker, but you know, for this particular application, just any of the MOSFETs I have laying around would have been fine to do what I needed to do. I don't have any of the lights working or anything like that, but that's fine. I'm never going to see this thing. It's going to be behind the computer. And at least I used the 3D printer to make a case for it. And I'll plug in the... We'll jump upstairs in a second to the lathe, but I'll plug the sensor side into this. And then I'll plug this into the Gecko driver that I have, which that should now simulate what that's expecting to see. Because technically that's just, that functions exactly the same way that your eyes do. You have a set of resistors that just monitors for you dropping the signal to low instead of being high. So it literally, it's just a switch. So it's just looking for the switch to open. It's normally a closed switch. It opens and it draws down the power, and that's with a signal for it. But my normally open proximity sensors do the exact opposite. They start closed and then they open up. So we'll pop upstairs next and see if I can get this thing wired in and see if we can actually pull a signal off the limit switches that are sitting in the lathe itself.